Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Force Lines Forever. Today, I have a 5v5 custom match here on the most amazing Noxus map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. Starting off with Team 1 in the Northeast, ending with Team 2 in the Southwest. I probably will confuse those two teams. I apologize ahead of time. Starting off with Team 1's Western player, then going clockwise, we have in Batman Gray, Team 1's Momo Uchiha. He is a Seraphim for this match as a 1300. In Pac-Man Yellow to his his east by southeast, it is Sorcery. He is a 1300 as well. To the Northeast in regular slot here for Team 1, it is Gamer9 XXX. He is a Cybran as well as a 1600. He's the highest rated player on Team 1. In Orange to Color, Orange to his south is a Seraphim player of Legend of Lore 2. He is a 1500. And last but not least, for Team 1 is the one and only UEF here for Team 1. It is Tabernacle. He is in Ruby Red as a 1500 as well. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 2 Seraphim, 2 Cybrans, 1 UEF. Starting off with Team 2's Northern player, then going counterclockwise, we have in glow-in-the-dark green, Team 2's Maverick. He is a UEF for this match as a 1400. In lightest red pink here to his south is Squealer. He is the one and only Aeon of the match as a 1300. To the south, we have in the regular slot here for Team 2, Okpuk. He is a Cybran. He is a 1900. He is the highest rated player on Team 2 and in the game overall. To his east, we have in Emerald Green, kind of blending in with his environment a little bit. It is XXX AFK XXX. Well, of course, AFK for short. He is a Cybran, and he is a 1300. And last but not least for Team 2 in Chevy Crimson to his south by southeast, it is Otto. He is a Seraphim as a 1300. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have one of each of the factions with a double Cybran helping. So again, 2 Cybrans, 1 UEF, 1 Aeon, 1 Seraphim for Team 2. Team 1 has 2 Cybrans, 2 Seraphim, and 1 UEF, lacking the Aeon faction. And for these 10 players on the map, let's take a look at the reclaim situation. They have to scoop up, currently sitting at 35,000 mass in reclaim, which means it is 3.5k mass per player to scoop up. And in terms of the mechs, is a little bit light on the mechs for this match. There is a Trimex position right here, Trimex position right here, another Trimex position right there, and that's pretty much it for major groupings. There's a couple of mechs dotted around the front or the middle of the map right here. Corner mechs out of random. Don't know who's going to get that. Somebody will at some point, or maybe it just won't get taken at all. And that's really about it. So our player is going to heavily lean, of course, into the reclaim initially and then back off as they get their mechs upgrades to T2 and T3. We do see in the southeastern corner, it looks like it's going to be a 1v1 right here, possibly a 1v1 right here, with Team 2's AFK pushing very far forward and claiming that little bit of reclaim around that 1 mechs. In the northwest, at least a 1v1, maybe a 2v1, and a 1v1 right here. Looks like the only player to not have moved yet looks like it's Okpuk, but of course he's the rear guarder slot. That kind of tends to be the case when he's that far back. So it's going to be, I think, actually a 2v1. We'll just see if Legend Lore shifts westward or not. I feel like he won't. I feel like it'd be better off for him to stay over here, but he is, of course, going for a little bit of reclaim. So we'll just see how much he actually does shift in that direction. But Team 1 and Team 2 looks like they might have the first come-on-come action here. Squealer and Sorcery kind of just hanging out. Again, minding their own business. Team 1 PD here for Okpuk to assist with grabbing that reclaim here for himself and his team. And yeah, it has been fired. The first shot heard around the match. And here we go. It is a 2v1 scenario. 2 Cybrans versus an Aeon. Aeon has 1,000 points more in hit points than these 2 Cybran commanders. There are, of course, 2 of them versus 1, and in any scenario, 2v1 is not a good situation to be in unless he has some other support. Aurora, of course, trying to help out a little bit. There is a Team 1 PD barely in range of Gamer9's comm, but again, they're focused on the reclaim situation, not really focused on the damage to their comms alone. But Sorcery is dropping into the yellow, so has to be very careful how long he stays there and how far south he pushes. T2 starting here from Momo in the northwest, and we do see T1 PD again making its appearance. Tabernacle overcharging and almost taking out that T1 emplacement. Has some couple of strikers and a nice little snoop in there for some intel gathering operations. AFK should be fine. There's no upgrades on either commander, so no real concern one way or the other. Maybe he'll walk him down. Maybe he'll let him leave. I highly doubt he'll walk him down. Team 1 Sorcery drops a couple of units onto the other side of the mountain over here. Ogpuck trying to deal with that. And Team 1 PD will be taken out and overcharged to death there. So no hope of going anywhere for that. And in the middle of the map, the environment is very restrictive. It's kind of hard to really get into these lower sections right here. Little avenues. And then the upper plateaus a little bit over here. There is still a little bit more room, but it is confined in some places. So players have to be aware of that as they group up T2, T3 units, of course. Team 2's RO going for now a gun upgrade, but now has T2, not T2, but does have a gun upgrade on board. And is sending his forces forward while Tabernacle is distracted, trying to deal with the frontline facilities for his opponent. Gun has been started for Maverick in the north. And Momo Uchiha looks like that might be enough. He's not going to cancel the upgrade being that close to being done. A couple of T1 Zui nearby will drop his comm to the mid-ish yellows. And it's going to be just a little bit more PD creep and PD creep and PD creep here from Momo. Of course, those units trying to shift around this way, but I don't think they'll get much distance. Especially with Gamer 9 and Sorcery falling back a little bit. Those units will be intercepted pretty quickly. T2 coming online here for Squealer. And yes, we do see that Legendlord has now shifted eastward. Is going to help out against AFK. It is 2v1. Cybran has the least amount of hit points in this regard. And Legendlord is only beat by 500 hit points on board Tabernacle's base commander. But he'll get some veterancy here soon. Legendlord will take a little bit more time though. And it might be a trade here. Legendlord trying to cover for his teammate of Tabernacle, but 5,000 hit points versus 5,500. If one comm dies at 0 and it stays relatively the same in terms of hit point differential, those comms are going to go up in flames one with another. T2 is online in the department here for Ogpuck. T2 also online here for Team 1. So staying lockstep with one another. But I wouldn't be surprised to see T3 started shortly. Yep. Oh, look at that right there. T3 has been started. When I saw the two T2 pigeons, I knew he was going to be pretty close to finishing it. Team 1, have you started yours? No. So he's a little bit behind. Nothing too crazy, but he's just slightly behind. It may amount to maybe first bomber for Ogpuck, but I highly doubt it. Usually players nowadays just go for ASF and call it a day. Gun has been started for Tabernacle. Gun has been started here for Ogpuck. Arrow, of course, Gun has... No, he has Gun and T2 on board, so nobody worries. And he's going to actually aggressively PD creep. He isn't just building PD on his way there. He just went boop, boop. It jumped halfway across the map. In the west, a little bit more shifting. There is a grab here in the northwest here for Tabernacle, but for Maverick. Do love that. Just spamming out a couple of Team 1 units just to annoy his opponent and draw his attention a little bit more northward and not focus on the front line where he's currently stationed. We do see Squealer surrounded by a decent amount of engineers. PD is online and unfortunately can't shoot at units below the plateau because that's not how line of sight works for that structure. But unfortunately, Sorcery does not build his PD in time and will be denied that advancement. We do see Gun has been started for AFK. I feel like... Oh, I guess Ogpuck got for his upgrade because AFK just started his. He is getting some Mantis assist. Love to see him use that faction, or unit bonus, I should say, being able to assist with the construction of said upgrade. Legendlord, 2, of course, not upgrades on board. Tabernacle has 1 veterancy and Gun on board. It is 2v2 with Arrow completely unopposed. So he's doing a lot of work. Look at this. He's pushed essentially all the way back to Tabernacle's main base. Tabernacle doesn't really have much left to his name. And Ogpuck going to push him with his gun comm as well. Again, it's a gun v gun, no upgrades, and veterancy on both sides. So it's only the hit points of 11,000 versus 13,200. And of course, the comm of Tabernacle not really feeling too good. Anyways, Gun has started on board of Legendlord's commander as well. So everybody having some sort of upgrades on every point on Team 1. Team 2, I think, has everybody with an upgrade. Yeah, Gun and T2, sensor package and T2. Gun has been done. Stealth on board. Gun and T2 as well. So everybody has an upgrade going on at some degree. Tabernacle trying to shield Legendlord's commander just to finish that upgrade. He's definitely going to need that assistance, especially with the stealth and gun comm of AFK moving in to intercept here shortly once it's done. He may stick for Nano. I don't think he'll stick there. I think he'll help, especially with the momentum shift that's happening here. The sooner he pushes against Legend Lord 2, the better, especially specifically because they know that Legend Lord isn't moving. So he's probably on an upgrade, most likely gun, if they zoom in close enough. So they know they want to try to stop that upgrade as soon as possible. I don't think they will, but they really want to just keep Team 1 back and back and back. Aro, of course, continuing to PD creep along the way. Team D online to protect his investments. Actually, more Team D than even PD. So he really wants to make sure that he has no losses. There are a couple of those T2 missile launchers on board here for Legend Lord 2 to assist. They are starting to break through, but it's just taking a little bit of time. The PD does get taken offline. There is a Percy in the mix, and Aro facing down a Percy, a couple of Percys here shortly, I would presume. Another coming offline. There is a Spearhead in the mix. Love to see that. Now needs to fall back immediately. And now, with the quote-unquote height advantage, just barely, those missiles able to strike very effectively on the lower section of the map. And it's lower by just a tiny bit. It's really not even a huge height difference, but it's just enough to just kind of say I have the high ground, which everybody loves to say, because you're going to have the high ground for everything. T3 Air online for Team 1, T3 Air online here for Team 2. Nobody else in the Air Department for Team 2, and nobody else in the Air Department for Team 1. It is a 5v5, so it's very rare that you see 2 air players out the gate unless the map kind of confines you to small amounts of land. We do see Legend Lord trying to, again, push back AFK and Akbek without his teammate of Tabernacle. It's just a 2v1 scenario, guns versus guns. So, again, there's no real advantage for Team 1 to continue to stay here. Aro, of course, trying to deal with the missile launches moving in to assist Legend Lord. Legend Lord is suffering quite significantly. Looks like he's going to go for AFK. AFK is suffering as well. There could be enough damage done. Ilshi nearby as well. Legend Lord will drop. He will die. And AFK has 400 hit points remaining. 200 hit points remaining. I saw 100 and something. He will survive the explosion. And it's not that much damage to kill him. 40 HP? Really? 40 HP? That would have been... I don't think I saw 40 HP, but it was definitely close to 100 something. Maybe it was 40. It just wrapped up very quickly. Who knows? That was very close. Team 1 has lost the first player of the game, being Legend Lord 2. And it is now a 5v4 in favor of Team 2, which is the Southwestern team. And look at this. Maverick has pushed Team 1 significantly back. He has the entire western edge fully under his control. Is now shoving it eastward. We have a nice little PD emplacement built for Momo, but that is slowly collapsing. We do see Squealer moving in to assist as well. It is a 2v1 scenario with Maverick moving in to intercept Momo's comm directly. Of course, in the east, we have Red v Red warfare going on. Aro being forced back by Tabernacle's now personal shield and gun on board. T2 veterancy as well. Percy's helping to assist, walking him down. Team 1 needs a kill here to even out the numbers, but it doesn't look like they will get it, especially with all this spam. The last thing Tabernacle wants to do is run headfirst into a just spam fest of Team 1 and a couple of T2 Ilshis in there as well. Definitely don't want to sit there long term for sure. Nano repair has been started on AFK. Definitely warranted due to the fact he's still in the red and almost at 3 veterancy. So definitely needs to get his HP back up and running. We do see a nice little stealth in Team D and TML combo. So maybe he'll strike at some mixes for Team 1. And we do see Akpuk just full sending that comm. He's doing a lot of damage to the eastern side here for now. Gamer 9 taking over for Legend Lord's demise. Momo is being pushed back by Maverick. Maverick has personal shield, T2 and gun on board. Has over 35,000 hit points and climbing with more veterancy on the way here shortly. He can overextend. There are some more rhinos on board for sorcery. But again, 35,000 hit points at this stage in the game is a lot to chew through. You'd have to have a lot of PD. You'd have to have a couple 3 T3 units. Just a whole bunch of stuff. A couple of bricks outbound from sorcery as we speak. One is not going to be enough to stop Puck's commander. He's reclaiming all of the mass here, and then probably just going to retreat after that. ASF coming in to protect his commander. Nano repair is still coming online, but I feel like it's going pretty slowly. I don't know if AFK is suffering in the... it looks like he was suffering in the power department, so I would explain why he's kind of slow on the uptick for that. I was going to say, I feel like he's not... this is why. He's just sinking all of his stuff into the missile launcher, trying to take out some mechs. His missiles are going to get hit, but unfortunately don't do a lot of damage once they are shot down. At least the initial missile is shot down. But look at this. Momo's frontline position is knocked out. He essentially is almost backed up to his main base. And Team 1 on the eastern side has been able to push a little bit further south. Nano repair has been started for Aro, so he'll have Gun, T2, and Nano on board. ASF's not the best engagement here from Team 2's perspective. We have some Corsairs inbound. And I wonder what they're going to target. They could go for Okpuk, but they might just go for AFK. He does have Nano. He has 90 hit points a second regen. But they are going to go for Okpuk, it looks like. He's going to dodge a decent amount of those shots. He will drop into the yellow, though. And ASF will come in to try to clean up those Corsairs. ASF fight will occur over top of Okpuk's position. And he should be fine. No real concern. There are some units inbound from Tabernacle. I always want to say Tabernacle, of course, because that's the name or the word I normally see with that kind of naming scheme. It looks like Okpuk might make it out. There are a couple of missile launchers here, a couple of Perseus, missile parashield as well. Tabernacle just doesn't care. 2-star vacancy and shield, of course. Team 1 mech's taken offline. Okpuk is trying to assist, but again, 16,000 versus 33,000. I mean, I wonder which comm is going to not worry about losing hit points. ASF's coming in to cover Apple's commander in the north. Squealer underneath. A little bit of missile fire, but nothing too crazy. A little bit of PD creep here from Maverick as well. The shield is down. Perseus are inbound. TML has almost been dealt with now. It's still online, so it won't be online for much longer. Look at all of that just tremendous amount of overkill here from these Perseus. They just wipe out one structure. Look at that. 4 or 5 shots raining into one thing that's already dead. So lots of wasted damage. That is one of the downsides to the Perseus. It's just if it one-shots things and those Perseus are already fired after it was killed, that's another shot that goes bye-bye. Those look like a run-by opportunity has tried to happen, but there are some Titans moving in. So I don't think that's going to really happen. But, you know, they could overwhelm that Titan and Percy combo. I just don't think it's going to happen. With a combination of Perseus and Bricks, Team 1 has been able to claim the upper plateau, which doesn't have a lot up here. A couple of mexes, not even that one's in range, just that one. They have knocked out a central position for Team 2, which tactically wise, definitely a good idea. Those Bricks are still on a collision course here with the comm of AFK. AFK should have enough firepower to defend. He has Nano and Gun, and Overcharge, of course, will constantly be recharging. There goes one. He one-shots that Brick, so 2 more remaining, nothing too bad. It does look like Tabernacle is just going to send his units in, but unfortunately Tabernacle, with the assistance of those Perseus and Bricks, might be enough to kill off AFK Commander. He's not getting out of dodge this time, and there he goes. Avenges his teammate of Legend Lore. It is now a 4v4 tied up game once again at 21 minutes. Taking a look at the game overall, Team 1 at 700 mass, Team 2 530. So with all of the gains that Team 2 has been not receiving but gaining, lack of a better word, Team 2 still is behind. Oh, never mind. Looks like it was a power situation. Never mind. Looks like the totals in mass income are roughly the same. Team 1 is starting to get up ahead as well. It's 800, 780. We'll just say 50 mass ahead and call it a day. Those numbers constantly are jumping, so we'll just leave it at that. Team 1, of course, has lost Legend Lore being the first casualty. Team 2 has lost AFK. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't done so already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you so very much for watching to this point in the video, and hopefully enjoy the rest of it as well. Because why not? Because you've already watched roughly half of it. You might as well watch the rest of it. We do see Tabernacle moving in to reassert his dominance in the middle, but unfortunately, the PD is just a little bit more powerful. Not more powerful, but just more numerous for Aro, and so that little fire base will not last much longer. We do see those units inbound still from Gamer9 to just push on in. He has a couple of Othams. It looks like those Perseus continue to advance. Looks like they went down here, but didn't really do a whole lot of work. They did take out some mexes, which is, I guess, better than nothing, but did a little bit of reclaim here for Okpuk and for are to scoop up. More mechs is being taken offline. That's always not a good day here. They are T2s. They're not T3s, which would be way worse. And that comm of Okpuck still trying to chase those units down. 11,000 mass killed. He has 5-star efficiency. All the hit points he can gather. A couple of flat cannons being produced to deal with those Corsairs. Not enough to really one-shot that comm, though. Nano and T2 with 2-star efficiency, 18,000 hit points. Even at that stage, kind of a chonky commander for those Corsairs. Couple of Titans being lasered down. Don't want to keep your units out in the cold. Something might happen to them. Something bad. Up, says Legend Lore. What? Up? What do you mean up? No idea what he means by that. But T3 land is online for, I think, almost everybody. T3 land has been started here for Momo. And, of course, he's been bombarded a lot by Maverick and Squealer, so it does make sense why he's kind of behind in the land situation. T3, and T3. Everybody else in the game has T3 land online. Does look like those units kind of just got sandwiched at this point. No real getting out of it, so might as well just fight off as much as they can and call it a day. But look at this. Maverick continuing to push in. He is with his commander very far forward. It is a little bit dangerous to do that, considering we are at the snipe stage of the game. 24 minutes. Team 1 could easily have some gunships or strat bombers and wipe that comm off the map, but they don't yet. It is still a possibility. Would love to see him expand his air grid a little bit more. I think he has the air control so far in terms of numbers. 53 versus Okpuck's 64. So no, Okpuck actually has control just barely by about 10 or so ASFs. So definitely needs to get more online. You can see he's going for a more square formation. The downside with this is cascading is very more powerful. It's a lot more deadly versus the more stretched out kind of base, which doesn't have a lot of cascade. It does have a little bit, but it's not just boop, 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 boop. It's just kind of boop. And you have to take out the next one, boop, and the next one, boop. So it's very segmented, I guess, would be the cascade versus a full-blown blowout. But, of course, Okpuck does have 2 bases, so it does, of course, illustrate why he just has so many ASFs under his command. Team 1's air player of Game 19 also has his secondary base because of the death of his teammate of Legend Lore. In the West, Maverick, again, still running around, not really getting anything done in terms of momentum, but he's done a lot, to be fair, recently, and he's taken out that Trimax position, at least denied it for his opponent, which is better than them having it, but it'd be better if he took it. So it goes, your opponent has some mexes, you deny those mexes, you take those mexes. It's kind of the worst, the best scenario. No. He's in the middle stage, which is better than nothing, but it's not the best. It's better. Good, better, best, kind of that whole... Well, it's not even good. It's not a good thing to a better thing to a best thing. Or if you can make it worse, which is the mexes you have got denied, and then the mexes that you were supposed to have also got claimed by your opponents. So that's the scale of, middle is normal, and then obviously going left is bad, going right is good in terms of the getting better or getting worse scenario. We do see Maverick under some bombardment from some trebuchets. They don't throw their artillery shells like trebuchets. That'd be very entertaining to watch, but they do not. I always found it fascinating that there was a difference between a catapult and a trebuchet, in the sense that like a trebuchet has that weight or whatever that's on the bottom, and the catapult is more just a single spring. So if you watch Lord of the Rings, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And for those of you, you don't have to watch Lord of the Rings to know that, but it illustrates the difference between a catapult and a trebuchet. And there's advantages to both, of course, but I think in raw damage, I think the trebuchet is better. But I think you can... I'm not a huge medieval buff, but I don't think you can set up the trebuchet as fast in terms of like reload it. I think. I could be wrong. But... because a catapult is just a spring, and then you just... or just a... essentially it's just a lever. It goes up and down. Where the trebuchet kind of has some more arc to it. Bombardment still pummeling this base here for Squealer. Maverick has already left. He's going back home. Looks like he's spamming out T3 facilities for Percy's and Fat Boys. We do see in the back line nothing really crazy except for a Colossus started for Squealer. More air grid. And shields to protect the SMD and Omni. We do see a nice little run-by opportunity here from Team 1's Gamer 9. We do see these units are in full retreat. These are sniper bots, though, which would explain why they're in retreat. But they can fire while they're retreating, which make them very, very annoying to deal with. These Ilshis trying to catch up. They just cannot seem to do so. And with how many snipers there are, good luck catching up. We do see gunships have pushed in from Team 1 going after the Colossus down the middle for Akpa. Corsairs inbound are helping the situation, but the ASFs for Team 2 are pretty strong, and it looks like Team 2 actually claims air dominance. Apologies for missing that fight, but having almost 100 ASFs to Team 1's 11 definitely indicates that there was an air fight, and Team 2 won it. That Colossus is not a good situation, but there is a nuke, and it is almost loaded. We could see point defense nukage, and it will kill that Colossus if it does strike it correctly. So that is a potential opportunity for Team 1, because if that nuke does not kill that Colossus is on a collision course with that base. Is there an SMD in the base? There is not. So there could be the risk of Team 1 launching in at Okpuk's base or the air grid, which would be a good move. And it's literally, speaking of which, Nuke will launch. I think it will claim most of that air grid, and it just depends on if this SMD loads in time. It is definitely not. And that Colossus is actually going to retreat, thinking that it was going to land on him, but it does not. Ping's going down saying, hey, there's a nuke there. You should probably go after it. Monkey Lord has been started and is now being spammed up as we speak. And does look like Okpuk realizes, oh, whoa, it's not going for me. Never mind. There goes the nuke. It's going to land on the headquarters. That's going to hurt Team 2's air power quite considerably. There goes the landing. I think a couple of air facilities will be fine, but boom! Actually, scratch that. None of the air facilities are fine. The pigeons are not good. And there, I mean, a little bit of cascade would have been enough to take out that line, but great grab. 1, 2, 3, 4 mix is taken offline. Air headquarters and all of the air facilities. Huge amounts of stuff killed. We do see the Colossus getting in. The nuke has been taken offline. Shields online to protect the monkey. Colossus did get up to 2-star veterancy because that monkey will be taken offline before it kills the Colossus. But even if it did, it would still have to deal with the brick problem. There is a chicken inbound. That will be enough. Whalers are inbound. I think Team 2's Okpuk is going to send them in. I mean, he has to at this point, just to try to protect that that Colossus. And that Colossus will get reclaimed by the Hives there. Essentially, that's their offensive capability. It does look like a couple of bricks were taken up by some friendly fire crash damage. ASF fight will still net Team 2 the victory, and a friendly neighborhood chicken will kind of make a muck of things a little bit with some friendly fire on sorcery. But it looks like now they're out of the vicinity of some friendly structures. It should be fine. A couple of bricks remain. T3 mechs will be fine. Those mass storages will not. But again, even if you don't take out the mass storages and you don't take out the mechs but still take out the mass storages, that's still 9 mass a second. You're dying. That's a T2 mechs if it's on a T3 mech sort of situation. So that it is still worth it to just take out the mass storages if that's the only thing you can take out. In the West, things are not super great for either team. There is a Colossus for Squealer. There's a FAF online for Maverick. 31 minutes on the clock here. Gunships are being produced. Air grid is being expanded upon. Love to see that. And Team 1 PD going to be built. Don't like the fact that he's standing next to an SMD plus a couple of pigeons. Definitely don't like the placement of that. That pigeon goes up. All those PD go down. So, not the best place to put them, but not my opinion. Team 1 bombers overhead, just slowly eating away at the Colossus's hit points. Nothing too crazy. Just, a little bit of poking and prodding, never hurt anybody. RO on his frontline facility. It's not doing super well. That Fat Boy is online here for Team 1 Stabber Apple, and unfortunately, the artillery was just not built soon enough, and therefore will be knocked out. ASF's moving in to protect for... No, they're going to hold off. Air grid, of course, is being re-expanded upon. Some of the wrecks did remain, and those pigeons are back up into the yellow. 20 hit points is not a lot, but when they're not really being shot at, it's kind of nice, and you don't have to even worry about spending any mass. But RO, of course, still under threat, has just the regular nano, just the regular. I guess there's only one regular gun, I guess, unless he goes for splash. The Fat Boy is pushing in, and of course we'll just slowly eat away at the hit points. Again, it's just more of a go away, not a I'm gonna kill you kind of strategy. So don't blame him. We're not sending everything in. A couple of Othams help to deal with the incoming threat from this Colossus from Squeedo. Momo is up here to the north. That could be a kill on Momo if he's not careful. He has attack missile loaded, and he will fire it. At this point, if I say something, it's going to happen, because I talked about the nuke firing on the air grid, and it happened. I talked about him firing his attack missile, and it happened. Fortunately, it's kind of hard to hit a moving target that kind of flops back and forth a lot. So that's the thing. We do see it's just not really going well for that Colossus. But there is a Fat Boy to back it up, so that is something. In the south, Team 2's Aro has fallen back, but again, no real issues there. He's going to provide a nice little grid for himself with some artillery to help. And that will keep off the Fat Boy for a little bit, but again, it just depends on how much support he gets to build. Because if he goes for shield, looks like he's going for shield, then artillery, then shield. So if he gets the artillery up fast enough, it might be the thing that will save Team 2's position. But that chicken might be the thing that saves it, though, if it just full sends it in, which it is going to do. There are a lot of Percys. The goal is the Fat Boy. That is the main goal for this chicken. If the chicken can take out the Fat Boy and maybe a couple of Percys, that'll be worth it, and then the artillery will be built, and it won't be a problem after that. So that is the main focus of that chicken, which it will accomplish its goal due to the fact that that chicken is already in range of the Fat Boy. Looks like some parashields are trying to be built on the back, and it will save the chicken a little bit. And actually, no, the chicken will not kill off the Fat Boy. Unfortunate, but it did give a little bit more time to build the shield, and there have been artillery built in the meantime, so that might be enough. And of course, the ion storm kind of deters any sort of forward momentum or movement in that regard. We do see Fat Boy fire raining down on Momo. Uchiha is calm, though. That's not a good sign. But T2 artillery is in range of the Fat Boy, and that Fat Boy is not feeling good. Colossus still alive at 17,000 hit points. Again, not really that useful, but it is something which is better than nothing, and it does look like the Othams will finish off the artillery's job of taking out that Fat Boy. And there goes the Fat Boy. Not going to survive much longer. T3 shielding. It will kill a Otham with its crash damage. Crash damage of it just blew up. That's kind of the short range blow up, I guess. Megalith coming online. Mex is coming back online. This was the base that housed the nuke here for Team 1. Nothing big ticket item in the northeast here for Team 1 as of yet. Another chicken online for Gamer 9 in the south. We do see an attempt from a crab and a chicken, but a couple of bricks going to stop that push quite easily, and that chicken not turning around. There goes the chicken. There was actually another ion storm in this mix, so it looks like it was why is maybe that was Team 2's crab versus two chickens, because the chicken is facing this way southwest while the crab is facing northeast. So I could be wrong. It looked like it was Team 1's crab, but I could be wrong about that. Oh, it could have been the ion storm confusing me. I bet you that's probably what it was. Monkey online here for Okpuk moving into intercept. And there is a push to go for that artillery bank. And that Monkey Lord is not going to make it a good time for those Percys to engage. It will save the artillery bank for the most part for Aro. Aro is underneath shielding. He has a ton of sniper bots. They're just pumping out shots left and right. That Monkey Lord, though, will definitely see better days, but it's going to get underneath some shielding. Possibly gunships also inbound from Okpuk to assist. Monkey Lord might not make it. Oh, 2,000 hit points remain. Just barely. Missiles are outbound going for the Fat Boy. Will the Fat Boy get hit? Yes, it will, and the Fat Boy will die. Nice snipe by Otto. Great snipe from those TAC missiles. Deadly. Another chicken online here for Game of 9. Interesting formation of Team 1 Pigeons up there for Momo. He's building more shields to protect his main base. He finally took out the Colossus. He took out the Monkey Lord. And now on the western side, not really a lot is happening. Tactical Billy Nuke, though. That's going to be interesting here for Team 2's Maverick to use. It's been a little bit since somebody has died. Just one of those scenarios where you have the initial deaths and then it's a long period and then people start dying. You see air is possibly moving. Team 2's air power is definitely more. You can even see that moving in to intercept anyways. They don't care. They'll win the fight regardless. They're trying to protect the gunships, which they don't do a good job of, but they will get the ASFs anyways. And that will net a win for Team 2. Regardless, though, of the fact that Team 2's Okpuk air grid is not the best, he has been able to spam out his air power, and Team 1 has not been able to really use that advantage. You can see the air grid is at least twice, if not 3 times as big. But a lot of the focus has been on the land units and not on the air units, which Okpuk has been able to capitalize on to regrow his air grid. Or rebuild it, I should say. It's not organic. No artillery as of yet for anybody from Team 2 or any big ticket items. We've had one nuke, which got one nuke off and then died. So nothing really super crazy as of yet here. Megalith Online here for Sorcery. See some gunships inbound from Gamer9 though. They're going after a bunch of engineers for reclaim purposes. There is some flak, but nothing too crazy. There's already a crab over here. Another one will probably be sent west, so 2 crabs that way. Billy Nuke is on board here for Maverick. He's loading it as we speak. And he's going to be firing it immediately at that position, which will hit the shielding, but it will not do significant damage. Momo, I don't know if he already took damage or that's just how much damage it... No, because it didn't do any damage to any of the other stuff inside the shielding. So I think that was damage that was already done to him. Looks like Maverick's going to shift a little bit northward and fire maybe a Billy Nuke up there. Attempt from Momo to push westward, which he's done a little bit of a good job of that, but there's too many Percys. That attempt is going to be null and void here very shortly. In the south, nothing too crazy. Team 2 is just fleet. Not even fleet, just... I was going to say fleet, but Armada is essentially the same word as fleet. I don't know, is Armada the same word as fleet? I mean, it's denoting a large group of naval vessels, but maybe there's an Armada is made up of a couple of fleets is maybe the way that is probably phrased. Because Armada, it makes me think of a lot of ships. The missiles, great leading of the shots here from Otto. He doesn't actually strike the Fat Boy itself, but he actually took out the shield, which will force the Fat Boy back a little bit. It is going to get that shield back a little bit slowly, just because it only regens 200 hit points a second. But he does produce a couple of parashields to protect him, which will help out with keeping the Fat Boy alive. Another shot inbound, and will it hit the Fat Boy? This will be a nice sniper attempt, and no, just barely misses. That was very close. That would have been another tack snipe on Team 1's Fat Boys. That would have been, man, the leading of the shots from Ao has been very on point. Another crab, 2 monkeys here for Team 2. 3 chickens. They're kind of missing a member on that upper plateau there because it's down there instead of up there. Another missile volley. I think that one's going to miss, but it might hit a couple of Percys anyways. Oh, it hits... wow, it actually hits 3 of them. Still, if you can't take out a Fat Boy, you might as well take out a couple of Percys. I don't know if the mass cost per missile would be good per kill for the Percys, but hey, taking out something is definitely better than taking out nothing. For another Fat Boy here for Maverick. 2 Colossi here for Squealer. Team 2 is making a play for the western side once again. There are 2 crabs here, though, so that will deter the direct fire from Team 2, not necessarily the indirect fire. We do see a couple of Gunther batteries up here. I thought I saw there's still some Thams, T2 artillery installations as well for Momo. He's having some power issues because he's building RAS. Hopefully he doesn't... Well, I was literally going to say... Hopefully he doesn't go straight for ARAS because he's going to probably miss out on the power, especially right now. But he did it anyway. And I had a frog in my throat. I had to, I don't know, whatever the heck, my throat just didn't like me for a second. Is that a TAC missile battery? That is a TAC missile battery inbound for the Colossus, which it will miss. And it looked like it went for a Percy and absolutely missed. Maybe it was going for the Colossus and way overestimated how fast that thing can move. True Crabs versus one Colossus. Obviously going to favor the Crabs in that scenario. There is some Fat Boy assisting this. There is some gunships, though, taking out the Fat Boy shielding. There is some AA underneath. Don't think the gunships are going to be enough. The first Colossus is down. Second one is now being targeted by all those tickle cannons and crabs. The sensor station gets taken offline. One crab's offline. The second Colossus probably will die. Second Colossus does die due to the attack missile battery. Nice snipe there. But it won't save the crab. At least won't save most of the hit points. Or maybe the Corsairs did it. Oh, maybe it was the Corsairs helped as well. There's some Corsairs over top here for sorcery. So it was maybe attack missile size. So sorcery combining. There's some Corsairs inbound going somewhere and then veer off westward. In the south, a couple more crabs. Again, crabs, couple more chicken. Just look at all these sniper points. Oh, look at this. 48 of them. Look at that nonsense. I mean, again, only 770 hit points for the veterancy, 700 for base. That's a lot of snipers. That is just way more than I think I've ever seen built at one time. The downside, though, is if a unit gets in or if an artillery shell lands, it can wipe out a chunk of those very, very quickly. So it's not perfect. It's not the best, but it's not perfect. It's just in the sense that it's not completely without a counter would be what I'm getting at there. There are three... Oh, nope, sorry. There's 3 chickens, 2 crabs. Looks like all those crabs, all those chickens, yes, did it again, went this way. And there are, of course, those 2 monkeys and the crab. There is the crab wreck still here that neither team has scooped up, so we'll see if Okpuck scoops that up, but time will tell. We'll just see how this game shakes out in the long haul. We do see that in the west. There's another Fat Boy and an attempt here by Momo to continue on southward. I don't know if he'll get that much work done, but there are a lot of kennel stations here that are slowly being taken out, which that is going to eat away at the build power here from Maverick. And even if the Fat Boy doesn't take them out soon, you can see, look at this, just a clump of them already taken out, and it's just single file line down the walkway here. And see all those engineers all over here. Not a lot of those are going to survive. There's another Fat Boy online. That's number 3. Those numbers are starting to dwindle here for Team 1's Momo. They're taking out a lot of those kennel stations. Look at this. And again, it's not doing any sort of economic damage to Maverick. But that's half of that build power right there just gone. Lots of mass has to be respent to deal with that. We do see a nice little group of Harbinger here for Squealer as well. But there's another attack inbound from Momo. He's just slowly pushing in on the west, on the middle, just slowly eating away at stuff that he can grab his claws on or his hands on or his whatever other appendages he has. More missiles are outbound. Looks like they'll hit nothing. Almost hit the Fat Boy. Had they been 1 second sooner, maybe even 2 seconds, sorry, later or 2 seconds later, it probably would have been enough. That's a lot of Percy's online there for Tabernacle. 68 of those very, very deadly units. Chicken essentially annihilated by all of those Percy's and other chickens. And Fat Boy Shield almost back online. They are trying to shift southward. There is an Awashao Bomber inbound. Love to see those. You don't get to see those every day. Bombers inbound. There are some ASFs already on its tail. Oh. Wasn't great bombing, but it does take out the shields, which is better than nothing. And we do see air fight still will happen. I think Gamer9 will take the... there is a decent amount of mobile AA underneath them. Yeah, it's definitely in favor of Team 1's Gamer9 for sure, but not by a huge margin. Another bomber's going to be built, and one after that. That one's already half done. You do see these Fat Boys and the chickens have shifted south and then west, trying to, again, avoid this little weird hole that's right here, as well as not a best engagement point. Lots of Percy's in inbound. That Fat Boy is gone due to T2 artillery fire. But there's still 3 chickens. And the chickens at this point, like I say with most chickens, just full send them in. The ones here from Auto are a good example. They don't get as far as they probably would have liked, but that's an Ion Storm that's completely annihilated, and not annihilated, but completely null and void. And that Ion Storm just takes out a huge chunk of those chickens' hit points. That's not going to survive much longer, unfortunately. And that crab might actually kill it off. Oh, one more. Nope. Barely, not enough. And now with this huge gap in defenses, Akpuk is going to take advantage and just full steam ahead. All these forces here from Tabernacle need to immediately retreat, which they do so. But there is going to be a lot of damage done. Lots of parashields in this mix that are slowly just being eaten away. Don't know why those weren't actually sent forward. There's a lot more here that could have been protecting those units. But it does look like a collide will happen. Akpuk doesn't send them in time. Another missile volley is inbound. Takes out the chicken, though, from the crab perspective. 2 more Percy's die to missiles. A lot of Percy's dying to missiles this game. And in the north, another attempt here by Maverick and Squidler to push in. But T2 artillery is already here. There's a crab going on the upper plateau. That's going to be a good day for that Fat Boy. Bomber is now online. Second bomber will be online most likely shortly. Our bomber just dropped another payload. Both the monkeys are down. There's still a chicken and 2 crabs remaining. Tons of corset, and of course there's tons of cougars in the mixer as well from Tabernacle. We do see those chickens for Team 1 are already gone. There's another chicken online for Team 2. This is just a huge reclaim field that Team 2 probably will be able to get. Bomber inbound. Will land on top of the bricks and crab. Our sub-bomber should be fine. Yep. There it goes. Yep. Those bombers are protected by the AA coverage from the ground and from the air. Fat Boy is taken out. Out of everything that was here, 1 crab, 1 chicken. Sorry, 2 chickens technically remain. And, of course, the horde of ASFs, the horde of snipers right here. Ooh. That's some friendly fire on that Cougar. I keep wanting to say Cougar, those Corsair situations. And those snipers are inbound. That's just so many snipers. I know he had 48 at one point. He has 35 of them, so he lost a quarter of them, but still a ton of sniper bots on guard. You see there are some lightning tanks in the mix and some ASFs. It almost look like they got singed by that bomb from that Awasa, but it is being protected quite significantly by those ASFs, though. Those 2 chickens are continuing to push. Ravagers have been built. Batboy trying to be hastily built, though. I don't think that'll finish in time. The chickens stop moving. That's not a good thing to do. Awasa bomber lands another payload and will help take out that first chicken. Second chicken, though, full range of whatever he wants to take out. There's no impediments for him at this point. Another bomb inbound. And yeah, well, maybe not. It just looks like the ASFs are being taken out by the bomber. Just looks that way. SACU is going down in the west. Couple of Rambo comms online. Not advanced, but shield combat preset commanders, 20,000 hit points with 15,000 base hit points, so 35,000 on board those units. And that chicken is dead in the water at this point. There's no hopes of that thing going anywhere. And those bombers are inbound for Akpuk's base. That might just be a snipe here from Team 2. From Team 1 on to Team 2. And that is a kill here. Akpuk is defeated by 2 bombers, and Corsairs come in to start poking and prodding. He was building an artillery piece at the moment. I don't think he's building that now. Bomb lands on top of the air grid. Some comments in chat from Maverick. And Bomber going to land on top of that Disruptor. I don't think that Disruptor is getting finished anytime soon. Nope, there it goes. And even if the first one didn't take it out, the second one did as well. Those bombers took out Akpuk, took out his air grid, took out his artillery piece he was building. Nice 1-2 punch there here from Team 1's Gamer 9. That actually might be play of the game at that point. And Bomber over the top trying to take out Auto's commander. Both of those bombers will be taken out. Oh, does this one get away? Nope, absolutely not. AA goes, nope. Not going to allow that. Corsairs inbound. The shields will pretty much hold. There's another stack of them being built. Missile has landed here from Maverick. Nice little Billy Nuke takes out 3 mechs is there. Again, if they were T2, that's 27 mass a second. I don't think a Billy Nuke can one-shot a T3. I think maybe a Billy Nuke can take out a T3 mechs on its own. I don't know. Nuke is online for Auto in this base. So we'll have that available to him shortly. 51 minutes on the clock here. Corsairs inbound for Maverick's comm. Maverick he had his personal shield. He traded it in for a missile. And his comm's legs aren't moving. The animation is stuck. Look at that. He's just gliding. It's like he's dancing on the ground there. And there he goes due to Corsair fire, leaving Squealer and Otto the last remaining players on Team 2. And Legend Lore is still here. After dying as the first player in the game to die, he's still here. Love to see that. Corsairs inbound going after SACUs and Fat Boys now. And just taking out whatever they can. Looks like they're targeting some Transcender T3 AA sites. But they're not going to get that much work done, unfortunately. And another explosion up there to the north. Nice little SACU went up. Squealer gets everything on the western side, and Otto gets everything on the southern side. Not looking good here for Team 2, if you're rooting for Team 2. There's a lot of Corsairs still stacking up here for Team 1. We have Sorcery and Gamer 9 still hanging out in his base. Another bomber's about to be constructed and ready to go. Fat Boy starting to make its appearance once again on the east here for Tablet Apple. We do see Monkey Lord and Chicken taking out a Colossus. Those presets, they are doing a decent amount. 40,000 hit points for the shields alone. So they don't do a lot of damage. So they're mainly just giant bullet sponges. You can see the Monkey Lord still having trouble eating away at the shield. Yeah, Maverick and Legend Lord are having a conversation. I don't think Legend Lord is. It's just Maverick having a conversation with some of his teammates. Fat Boy in range of the sniper bots, and as I said earlier, those sniper bots very good at taking out units long range, but Fat Boy outranges them, and Fat Boy can easily take out the sniper bots. SACU is still being taken out here on the northwestern side. At this point, I'll speed it up a little bit because it's starting to just kind of slow down in this game. Corsairs inbound. Oh, nope. They have a new target. Never mind. They're just grouping up. I think they're just going to go for one volley. Bomber is now done for Gamer 9. I think he's waiting to engage with it. There it is right there, hanging out on the floor there. Or ground? Floor? That's more ground than floor. Floor usually indicates a building. Ground usually indicates just the ground. Othams trying to defend against a couple of Percys and of course some SACUs, which are doing pretty good at holding their own, but it's slowly being eaten away by Team 1's the everything. Missiles inbound, going after Percys, I guess, but maybe they went for something else. Corsairs inbound, going after the SACUs. They grab that. Nice grab there. Is that a Scathus? That is a Scathus built by Team 1's Sorcery. There it is. Has some air scouts hiding in it. And that right there might just cement Team 1's victory. 54 minutes on the clock here. Actually 55. And that bomber is probably going to offload its payload once the second one has been completed. Chicken will slowly derail this incoming aggression here from Tabber Apple, but it's not going to stop it entirely, especially with the Fat Boy up there as well. If Team 1 doesn't have an SMD, which they do, that nuke would be perfect, but I don't think... Oh, it has loaded. Maybe it'll go after the land units, but with the Scathus online, I don't think it's going to be enough. Team 2 is making a play, but again, there's a crab in the way. There's a bunch of PD being built. There's so much in the way between that big ticket item and this group of units. There isn't enough units to crack on through. Nuke has launched. It's going after a point defense nuke. Love to see those. The Fat Boy will die. This Fat Boy might be fine. This group of units will die. But the Fat Boy is raining in. Oh, not great. Here comes the nuke. Kaboom! Takes out a huge clump of those units. Kills off 6 67,000 mass with that nuke. And Auto has really no shielding at this point. Crab taken out down. Chicken taken out down there. And Scath is still raining in. Squealer trying to dodge the best he can. And he takes a hit. Nothing too dangerous, though. He's building an emissary. He's building a salvation, excuse me. Usually you build those after Paragons, but maybe you just wanted to skip the Paragon side of things. Missiles inbound going for that Fat Boy. Has the Fat Boy moved enough? No. It will hit the shielding. It won't take out the Fat Boy, but it was a nice attempt. Artillery will keep the parachutes shield offline. Another volley is inbound. Will he get the Fat Boy? Maybe, if that parashield doesn't block too much damage. Oh, he takes out the Fat Boy with another tac missile snipe. Man, Auto is on point with those things. Even in a moment of he's just bombarded with everything, he's able to take out another Fat Boy with a tac missile snipe. So definitely been very good with that tac missile this game. Shields are still holding. Just barely, though. They're very depleted. Squealer is now moving. Doesn't want to die by T4 artillery. Well, you see, there's a little thing called overkill, and this is definitely, and Auto is killed out by Tabernacle's assault over there, because you know it's going to happen at some point. But this is kind of overkill, if you ask me. He wanted to make sure that comm died, and that comm died. There goes the game here, folks. 58 minutes on the clock here. Team 1 wins the game. MVP goes to Gamer9. Those bombers were huge for allowing Team 1 to win this game. And it was essentially one of those, Okpuk went down, and then right after that Maverick went down, then a couple of minutes went by, and then the other two players went out. You have some kills in the beginning, no kills for a long time, and then everybody dies at the end. But that is the game here, folks. Team 1, no flawless victory for them. They lost Legend Lore as the first player dead. So it wasn't a perfect victory for them, but they did do a very good job. And I'd say MUP award goes to Team 2's Auto. Those tac snipes on those Fat Boys were it was so good. Man, like I struggle with essentially leading the target. I feel like a lot of people do, but he was very on point. Bar like it'd be off just a tiny bit or off just a tiny bit in some regards, but man, he was very on point and very, very close when he did miss. So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you liked the video or not, please let me know. I really do appreciate the feedback. Thank you so very much for watching to the very, 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 very end of the video. And I will see all of you in the next one.